Welcome back to Transformative Tarot with your boy Phoenix. Trust everybody's doing well today. Super Bowl Sunday, you know what I'm saying? Mardi Gras is kicking up a lot of celebration in the air. So we are almost done with this wave spell, but it's not quite over as far as the work or being worked on by this wave spell of shedding skin. You know, when a snake sheds skin, it's a proactive thing. It doesn't just sit there and let it fall off. It has to scrape its body against, harder surfaces to remove some of that skin and sit in a very vulnerable place until the new skin dries. So if you feel you need to rest or recuperate a little bit, you're still in the energy. It's not about taking action all the time. But the other half of this or this archetype begs that that rubbing against the rocks is talking about a physical exercise or you know a routine that helps to pull that off, that old world, that old philosophy or belief system. And today, as part of the wave spell, the white wizard comes back up, which is also the archetype of the year that we're in. So this is like a really powerful kind of day. And the word that pops out of this is enchantment, enchanting, chant. So this is like the affirmation kind of energy, right? But this is the energy of the sage. You know, the great sages, the medicine women and men, the healers, the shamans, the MCs, the masters of the ceremony. This is the kind of energy you would go to, kind of like a justice of the peace, or to get married, or some kind of ritual or initiation. This is the energy that will be front and center. The jaguar is also the totem animal for this archetype of hiding in the shadows. Camouflage, being able to cloak your energy from unwanted pests and parasites and whatnot. But it's kind of like having alter identity, kind of like Superman or Batman and Bruce Wayne kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? So here we go. Let's take a look into it. It's interesting because messing around and I had to pull out I love my Transformers in there. I channeled through these. But I got Starscream's Brigade. This was an interesting episode where, in his lust for power and control of the Decepticons, he's exiled to an island which happens to have all these old World War II machines around. And what he does is he goes to Cybertron. He pulls out of a data bank all these Decepticons that were kind of like in prison and puts them in these new bodies. And now he has his own army. Um, Spiritually speaking, with the ancestry going on right about now, coming through thick. It's kind of like that, vicariousness of, first and foremost, we have to acknowledge the gifts and the talents that we receive from these individuals who were before us, and their times and circumstances might not have allowed them to fully embody what we have the opportunity right now to embody. Yeah, there it is, the veil. So this is about the what's going on behind the scenes kind of energy. Things working behind the scenes, even though they may not feel like they're working behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? And this has a lot to do with that connection that we have with our ancestors and the roles that we are playing. A lot of us are switching our roles at this time and becoming the character that we truly wish to embody, and also taking the lead role in our story. And with that, there's a lot of help in the backdrop. The camera, the lighting, the sound, the props, the curtains, all of that. Center stage would be the world that we live in, the matrix, if you want to call it that. But the stage where we are to perform in the guise of our character, whether that be the protagonist or the antagonist. You'll see it different based on who you interact with. You'll be the devil to some people and you'll be an angel to others. Let's see what else. The Hermit. These cards came up for me the other day. So the hermit is about the aha moment, really. But this is really about the time spent in your own universe. And this is why Starscream's brigade came up, because he created his own army or his own squad. You know, and with the hermit here, this is about going within. And going within, you're going to run into the archetypes of your ancestors, the warriors, the healers, the magicians, you know. And it's funny, I saw a little girl pulling on a magazine today at the store, and I had to see what she was pulling at because she looked dead at me when she was pulling it before her mom came and got her. So I went down there and I said, "Oh my God, what is the book she looking at?" And I thought it might have been some like National Geographic or something. No, this was a book on serial killers. You know what I mean? It was kind of funny like that. But even though there's a lot within our lineage, some of us might not have this prestigious uh as prestigious as we might like. But even with these archetypes of serial killers, there's a degree of commitment that comes along with that job. You know what I'm saying? Just to put it out there. And we have the Blue Knight. And then this is the dream state. This is where a lot of that communication is happening right now in the dream realm with your ancestors. I could say, yes, definitely for myself, this is where it's been. And even though you might not remember all of it, you've received it. And it's just a time, it's just a matter of timing and putting a little effort into unlocking those messages. You know what I'm saying? It's like going into your inbox. You got to put the password in, kind of shit, to get into your inbox. So coming out of the dream state, a couple things you could do is just take your hands together like this and pretend like you're at the beach. Put those two hands on the back of your neck where the medulla oblongata is. And this is just a meditative state you can sit at when you first wake up in the morning. And this will, with practice, it'll help you remember and recall your dreams so you can really consciously extract the wisdom and whatnot. Okay? So the dream state, the time spent alone right now, hermit mode, the reflection. And hermit mode doesn't mean you just isolate yourself from the world. It just means really more so, especially for those of you who have a lot of responsibilities. It's about just making space and time for that interaction to happen in the waking world. 15, 20 minutes a day just of quiet, silence, just being to yourself and being in yourself, because that's where all the answers are. You know what I mean? That's where the ancestors are. That's where all the answers to your questions are. Shoot, that's where the energy of even coming up with the correct question to ask in order to get the correct answer. So sometimes we're not even meditating for the answer, we're looking for the proper question to ask in order to answer it. You know what I'm saying? Because they match up. Usually your answer is in the question. You feel me? So with that being said, your dreams, downtime, physical exercise, taking control, the shaman and the this is more about working your magic at this time. And it's not so much in the doing either, it's in the balance of the doing and the being, the masculine and feminine. Mm-hmm. You get two more. Yep, there it is. Lady of the Shrine. Again, offerings, the communion with the ancestors. Perhaps that's changing because of the shift that we're in. The way that we've communicated before, hmm, you know, it might have been like kept getting the typos. You know what I'm saying? The autocorrect, putting different words in there and stuff like that. Whatever the case may be, this is the time for that communion with water, which is where the memory is at, and it also represents the current or the flow of the universe that we reside in. You know what I'm saying? The pentacle, same pentacle is the same pentacle here. Queen of Diamonds represents the value, the internal value, the maintenance of self, while the Lady of the Shrine is about that inward um, conversation between yourself and those who come before us. You know what I'm saying? And whoever else, spirit guides you might have around you, close friends. It doesn't have to be just straight relatives, but anybody that you had an affinity for, and vice versa in this lifetime. So quietness is a really good day. It's a really good day to just be still. And Mardi Gras going on, the Super Bowl going on, and everything else going on in the world. It's easy to get caught up. But Spirit wants to remind you of the value of activating that magic, that black magic within that internal magic, and knowing that it is a cultivation of who knows how many centuries of people who have come before us, who have put in that same kind of work in a similar way. We're talking about people who, and we're talking about not just the ones who went through, let's just say, the middle passage and on in, but we're talking about before all that, at the height of where we were before the fall. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about these genius type energies that had the free range to express these gifts and go beyond where they were and really make an impact not only on themselves but the world around them. Being in tune with nature itself. A great place to be today is in nature. What does it say? The one 364 plus one quotes of the Mayan calendar. This one said the synthesis that the term superhuman, and I'm ad-libbing, the term superhuman is nothing more than the synthesis between consciousness and nature, or something to that effect, consciously interacting with nature, which is really the only thing operating on the planet the way it should be. You know what I'm saying? It never strays from its programming. A bird is going to be a bird, cat is going to be a cat, fish is going to be a fish. You're not going to try to catch anything trying to be what it's not. And even today, I'm sitting here moving about the cabin, right? And there's a bee in here. And it's not a day you would even expect to find bees. It's a little chilly, it's dark, there's no flowers out front, but there's a bee in here. So this message today is for those who are shedding that skin and feeling the new energies. I emphasize feeling and the being. Just be who you are. Be where you're at. You know what I'm saying? Being the best version of yourself right now, regardless if it's where you see yourself or not. You know what I'm saying? As far as your highest aspiration for self. But just be and let these things come to you. Let these messages, let these aha moments come to you. For all the exercise and physical help that you're giving to shed the skin, make sure that the dream time is there, because this is one of the more potent ways that we can be communicated with when it comes to the other side. There's a lot about just silence and resting right about now. So this is a feeling of invoking. Invoking, you know what I'm saying? Not only the power that you have within, but the potential for more. You know what I'm saying? Putting that to use and feeling what that's like. Great day for visualizations and guided meditations, anything of that sort, but anything that helps you to go within. Highly beneficial. So that this inner sage come to the forefront. And you can go about doing what you need to be, what you came here to do. All right. So we'll get one final message rolling up out of here. And also the thing that comes to mind with Starscream's Brigade is that the fact that this reminds me of Aragon when they couldn't win the war with physical means. In Return of the King, he had to go into the cave and recruit the Ghost Army. And if they had carried that on over to the final episode, they would have really kicked ass. But they, he honored their vow and let them go after the first battle with Minas Tirith. But it's that kind of energy. It's calling on the spirit to help aid what's going on in in 3D. It's pulling these energies down and grounding them, all these ideas and concepts, new or just forgotten about, and bringing them to the forefront and giving them an expression in the physical realm through us. You know what I mean? And knowing that a lot of our ancestors didn't get the chance to explore their spirituality or their gifts, they live through us vicariously. So they will give you hints and downloads. You know what I'm saying? They will give you that. But you also got to give them the grace and show them the strength of your compassion, because who knows? Maybe they have regrets. You know what I mean? Maybe there's stuff that they feel that it was unfinished, but through you, depending whether or not you accept that, you don't always have to follow the traditions or the nudges that you get, of course. It's because you are now in the seat of authority. The message really is clear. It's like you got to really take into account the position that you're in the physical realm. Of course, it's not, you know, the greatest place to be at times, but nonetheless, you are the one who's in the driver's seat now, whereas everybody else has had their time. And probably it may have it again, if you believe in reincarnation and all that. But for now, you are the one going through it. You are the authority. You're the one going through the storm, catalyzing, self generation, talking about energy and the matrix, just the outside world. So, what this wave spell is doing for us, it's a sudden storm that clears away all the unnecessary BS and allows us to be in that authority again. Because, see, this is the masculine, this is the outside world, this is how we show up. And in order to show up, maybe we have to clear a few more things out. So just let that happen. This is about the release and the surrender of things. Also, not taking it personal. It's working for you, whether it looks like that or not. You feel me? But this is about your authority. And this is also the wisdom of the snake, is knowing, it's that whole thing. Um, Affecting the things that I can and accepting the things that I can't kind of energy. It's not so much an obsessive control of wanting to know everything and be in control of everything. Sometimes you got to let go of the wheel and let God. You know what I'm saying? Let go and let God. So there's a balance in that as well to be mindful of. Okay. So that's what I got for today. And this energy may carry over a bit. And also, we're starting to feel the effects of the new wave spell coming in, which will be the white mirror, which will be very interesting to see. I'm very curious to see how this will play out for not only myself but the collective. Once this mirror gets thrown up and people are walking through the hall of mirrors to face themselves, it's almost like the judgment scene feel, and at the end of it all, that weighing of the heart against the feather. So let this blue storm help you clear out anything, any old negative emotions, attachments to bad situations or uncomfortable situations, and even the pessimism of being so much in a cycle that you're so used to it being like it is that you might be pessimistic about it even changing at all for you. That's a belief system that can go and probably didn't belong to you in the first place. It might have been passed on uh, by the way you were raised or the people you're around. Okay. So that's what I have today for Transformative and Tarot on behalf of Starscream's Brigade, Fancy's deck, and the Wave Spell of the Red Serpent in the year of the White Wizard. Y'all take care.